Welcome all of you students. In this lesson, we are talking about for loop, right? You have to practice much thing, right? So I decide to use few videos for introducing for loop and practices, right? This lesson I use to demonstrate how for loop work and what is for loop, right? Okay, let's create new project, file new project, right? Select .NET framework. .NET framework we use console app, right? Console app. We use console app with .NET framework, right? We use console app .NET framework with C# support, not this one, right? C# loop, right? Okay, you can use .NET framework. You can use 4.5 or higher version. I use most latest one and same solution name I keep, right? Okay. Now you can see this. You have main method and right. I am demonstrating for loop with this main method, right? I'm not creating classes and object, right? Directly use main method for this example, right? For loop template like this. Actually, you can type for and double click on tab key, right? Or you can manually type this thing. Admin I use it, right? Okay. Console dot writing. Don't worry, I will explain what are these, right? Okay, I plus one. Okay, I use I console dot read line. This is for loop. For loop mean I want to loop something, right? There is two kind of loop available in C#. For loop and for loop while loop, right? It available do while loop, for each loop. But basically two kind of loop, for loop and while loop, right? In for loop we use for loop when we know how many iterations we want to execute, right? This for loop we use when we exactly know how many iterations we want to execute, right? Actually in practical level project we can't use this for loop. The reason is we don't know how many iterations, right? That type of examples we use for each loop or while loop, right? Mostly use for each loop, for each or for each loop in practical scenario. But this is in this part you are learning program, right? We use for loop. For loop has three statement here. This is initialization statement. Create a variable called I and assign value 0, right? Second part, check the condition. This is the condition. Last part, increment or decrement. Actually this first two line execute first in for loop, right? Not this one. This one will last, right? This first initialize the value and check the condition, then execute the content inside your for loop. Last At last, increment your increment or decrement, right? This two part, check first and execute what's the content inside your for loop, and last this increment or decrement, right? You can see, check the result, 0 to 9, it will be 0 to 9, right? 0 to 9. We exactly know how many iterations we need. 10 iterations, right? 0 is first iteration, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, like that is the 10th iterations. We know exactly how many iterations, right? If I use 1 to less than or equal 10, what will be the result? Also, we know how many iterations, 10 iterations, 1 to 10, right? First initialize the value, I is 1, right? Then check the condition, I is less than or equal 10, yeah, it is true. Then execute this line, right? Whatever content inside for loop, that will execute, right? And last, use this command, I increment by 1, right? Now I value is 2, right? Okay, then check, I is 2 less than 10, less than or equal 10, yeah, that's true. Then execute this one. Okay, and last part, increment by 1, right? Then 2 plus 1 is 3, like that. Think about this. Now your I is 10, right? I is 10, check this, 10 is less than or equal 10, yes, not less than, equal is here, that will work, right? The 10 also print, then last check, then increment by 1. Now I is 11, right? Check here, 11 is less than or equal 10, no, it's false. Now terminate your for loop. This is the process how for loop work, right? We use here for incrementing, right? I will explain how we use for decrement, with decrement. For introducing decrement, for loop with decrement, I comment this part. Okay, don't need to comment. I use this example also, right? Actually, we use for loop when we exactly know how many iterations we want to iterate our project, right? We use 10. First value is 10. We check I. We want to iterate 10 to 0, right? And minus. First check. First execute this line. Execute mean assign value. I is 10. Then check 10 is greater than or equal 0. Yeah, that's true. Then execute the content, right? Mean 10 will return, right? Then decrement by 1. Decrement by 1 mean 10 minus 1 is 9. That now I is 9. Then check 9 is greater than or equal 0. Yeah, that also true. Then again execute this line and decrement by 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. Now check 8 is greater than or equal 0. Yeah, that also true. When your result is 0, 0 greater than or equal 0, yes, it has equal sign. 0 also return, also print, right? Then 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 greater than or 0, it's false. Now terminate your for loop, right? Check result 10 to 0. Actually we use this one, right? You need to get the idea behind the logic, right? Now I think you have idea about what is for loop, right? Why we use for loop and how we use for loop, right? We use for loop when we exactly know how many iterations we want to iterate, right? We know exactly 10 iterations we want to iterate, right? And you have to have idea about these things, right? First initialize the value, then check the condition as a step. Okay, as a step, first step, initialize the value. Initialize the value mean this part, right? Create a variable and initialize value. Second, check the condition. Check the condition. That means this part, right? Check the condition. I is greater than 0 or not, right? If this part is true, execute the content or run content. Third part, run content inside inside for loop, right? Whatever content inside your for loop, it will run. As fourth part, increment or decrement or decrement, right? This is the process how for loop run, right? Now you can add your project into source control, add to source control and publish to GitHub. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Let's move into next lesson.